Next, we're going to look at rotating and distorting or transforming images and parts of images. And to demonstrate, I'm going to use Goose PSD. Now, to do a rotation of an image or a layer, all you have to do is have that image or layer selected, go to Image, go to Image Rotation, and you can rotate it 90 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise, 180 degrees, or you can do arbitrary and type in your own specific rotation and whether or not you want it to be clockwise or counterclockwise. And then you can also flip your canvas horizontally, which just flips it over to the left or the right. And then you can do image rotation, flip canvas vertically, and it will flip it vertically. All right, I'm going to go back to where I started in my history panel here. And once again, that was found under image rotation, flip canvas horizontal, vertical, or rotating your image. If I were to select 90 degrees clockwise, it is rotating the entire image. It's not just rotating the layer. Image rotation, 90 degrees counterclockwise will bring it back to where it was. And next we're going to look at different ways of transforming your image. To access the transform option, you can hit Command or Control T, and you'll see the transform box appears around your image. I'm going to hit Escape to get out of that. Or you could go to Edit, Transform, and you can select Scale, Rotate, Skew, Distort, Perspective, Warp, rotate 180 degrees, rotate 90 degrees clockwise, rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise, flip horizontal, and flip vertical. You might be thinking, we just saw that under image. This is affecting the individual layer. And so if I select rotate 180 degrees, it is rotating just what I've got selected in my layer there. I'm going to undo by going back to Open. Again, that was under Edit. Pre-transform is the Command or Control T. And so if I select that, that should look familiar. We use that shortcut previously. Escape gets you out of there. It also gets you out if you're trying to crop or in a tool and you just want to cancel out. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and select Scale. And so I'm going to hold my Shift key down and you'll see I'm scaling my goose. Now this is just basically free transform. However, if you look in the option bar across the top, you can scale the selected part of your image by a percentage. So let's say I want to scale it by 150%. And so I'm going to type in 150% on width and 150% on height to keep things proportional. And then here I can select to rotate by putting in the degrees of rotation here. And I'm just clicking and dragging to the right. Or I could put in 45 degrees, 80 degrees, and go back, put in no rotation. And then to the right of that, I have my horizontal and vertical skews that I can put in as well. And then over here, we can see where I can switch between pre-transform and warp. I can set my transformation there. And over here on the left, this is where you can set the reference point. This is your reference point in your image, what it is rotating off of. So if I select the lower left, it's moved my reference point down here to this left part of my image, lower left of my image. If I select the middle, it's moved it there, top. And so you can go through and you can select a specific point by placing the coordinates in, or you can just keep it to the middle, which is what I would recommend doing for the most part. All right, so I am going to escape to get out of that, and that was the transform, scale, rotate, skew. Let's look at skew. If I have skew selected, then you're going to see when I drag up or down on these different parts, on the different corners and handlebars. As you drag on your different handlebars, those in the corner, you can see that you can get a pretty distorted version of your image. Going to escape, and now I'm going to go edit, transform. I was under skew, this is distort. And for the most part, people don't do a whole lot of skew and distort, but you never know when it's something that you're going to want to do. And to set your transformation, all you have to do is double click or hit enter. This poor goose is looking pretty rough. I'm going to go back to open, edit, transform, select perspective now. And when I click and drag in or out, you can see the perspective changes happening. And this can be extremely handy, say if you're trying to mock up what a room's going to look like when it's decorated. You could go in and you could add furniture to the room along the sides of the walls, etc., using your perspective and distort shifts. Alright, I'm going to go back to open, revert back to my original image, go edit, transform, select warp, remove warp from earlier. And when the warp tool appears, you can see you get these handlebars, and you can go in and you can selectively over the image adjust different parts of the grid. And you can drag on any one of the lines where the lines intersect, the handlebars, and the different points on the image. And so if I was placing this in a Christmas ball, or if I was going to be doing this in a water drop or something, you can see where warping the image could come in handy. It's not anything you would want to do on a portrait necessarily, but still. I'm going to escape to cancel out of that. And so the last thing you're going to do for this chapter is you're going to create a reflection. And you're going to create a reflection using the coffee cup image. And so what you're going to want to do is open Bridge and select Coffee Cup JPEG, open that up. And you're going to follow the directions on page 280, 281, and 282 to create a reflection of the coffee cup. And when you're through, you're going to save it as 6i, your last name, underscore coffee cup, as a Photoshop file. So as a PSD in your chapter 6 file. So if I've created my reflection, then I go File, Save As, 6i, my last name, underscore, coffee cup. This is going to be a PSD because it'll have layers, and I select Save. And that concludes Chapter 6.